Harris stood at the window looking outside. He was waiting for something. He had ordered his automobile from a catalog that sold various new inventions. You couldn't pick the color of the automobile, nor anything else to be honest, but John didn't care. He didn't know anyone with an automobile as nice as the one he had ordered, or even someone with an automobile to begin with. Then John saw a wagon carrying a massive wooden crate. "Clara, Clara, it's here," John yelled. Clara ran out of the main room, sewing still in hand. They both rushed outside to greet the wagon. As they walked outside, the man driving the wagon asked, "Is this John Harris' house?" "Yes, I am John," he replied. About 10 men climbed out of the wagon and lifted the wooden crate to the ground. Then John and the men took off the top panel. The man that had drove the wagon walked up to John and said, "To turn on the automobile, you push this in here and pull the lever." Then he said, "Twist this handle here to turn it on. You'll need to use this here to turn the automobile wherever you want to go. It's called the steering wheel, and this lever will make it go forward." The man showed John the mechanics of the vehicle, then wished him a good day and went back to the wagon. Then the rest of the men climbed on the wagon and drove it back down the dusty road. Henry Williams stood at the train station. He was waiting for his automobile. He saw the train round the corner into the train station. People rushed off. Everyone was carrying some type of luggage and walked into the station. Henry met the train conductor at the postage car. "I ordered an automobile about 6 weeks ago. Has it arrived?" he asked. The train conductor scratched his chin and looked at the papers he held in a leather case. "Are you Henry Williams?" the man asked. "Yes, I am," Henry replied. "All right, I'll bring the men around to help you carry it to your wagon," said the train conductor. The men helped Henry carry the crate to his wagon. He thanked the men and gave each one $1 for helping him. Then Henry pulled his wagon away from the train station and headed towards his home. 3 months after John Harris had received his automobile, he had to deliver a set of oak chairs with a matching table to Daniel Smith in Ohio City. So he packed the shipment on his automobile. Clara handed him a basket full of 3 red apples, 2 sweet rolls, a piece of peach pie, and a bandana filled with dried beef strips. John grabbed the basket and kissed Clara goodbye. She wished him safe travels, and John walked outside and placed the basket in his wagon. Then he climbed into the automobile and drove towards Ohio City. Henry Williams drove his automobile into town and stopped at the post office. "Any mail for me today?" Henry asked Fred, the mailman. "Actually, I do have one letter for you from Ohio City," replied Fred. He handed Henry the letter, and Henry opened it. It read, "Dear Henry, I'm writing to you to tell you I have a large order of corn that I need help delivering to you. I heard you had an automobile and was wondering if you'd like to deliver the shipment for $150. Yours, Charles." $150 was a lot of money. Henry turned to Fred and asked, "Do you have a pen and piece of paper?" He nodded his head and handed Henry the items. Henry began to write. "Dear Charles, I will start for Ohio City now and will deliver the order from Ohio City to Columbus for $150. Yours, Henry Williams." Henry drove home and grabbed a few items, including some food, his coat, and pocket watch. Henry Williams started on the narrow country road and thought, "Now there is no one around, I can surely see how fast this automobile really goes." So he increased his speed and went flying down the road. At the same time, John Harris thought, "If I increase the speed, I'll make it there faster and might receive a better tip." John increased his speed and went faster and faster down the narrow road. Henry thought he saw a blur in the distance. It must be just a wagon, or just my imagination, he figured. John continued driving down the road, and suddenly another automobile was heading straight towards him. Henry saw the automobile on the other end of the road coming closer and closer until, boom, the 2 automobiles collided, leaving each one damaged and never to be driven again. These were the only 2 cars in Ohio at the time, and collided in 1895 on the same road in Ohio City. But this is a story about who the men could have been and why they could have been on that road in 1895.